All right. Chapter 5, Searching for the Right Home in the Complete Guide to Buying a Home. So now we're actually going to talk about finding that home and making sure it's the right home for you. And this is kind of a checklist here in this chapter, so I just want to run through it briefly with you, point out a few important things before you dive in to read it. And then, of course, you can ask your questions. But interestingly enough, I was just thinking here as I was getting ready to record this video, I actually need to record a few videos showing you how to search for the kind of home you're looking for online. Your real estate agent who's helping you buy the home knows that local market, the area, he's familiar with everything, so he can point out a lot of things to you that you wouldn't notice just searching online. And he has some really fantastic tools to really narrow down that search based on the criteria that you have to a really granular level. And I'll record a few videos showing you what those tools look like, tools that you can use to find your property online as well as offline or even off market. So we'll talk about that in other videos. But what I want to point out here is that as you have that criteria we talked about previously, your needs and desires, and you've narrowed that list of what you're looking for. There's a lot of properties out there, so you don't want to just drive around looking at for sale signs and then running in to see the homes. You can actually use these tools to create your short list of the houses you want to look at, create a list of 5 to 10 homes that you think would be really nice, and then go out and look at them to actually make sure they're what you're expecting, right? So you get there, you want to do a quick walkthrough, make sure that this is something you want to pursue. Obviously, if it's not, you don't want to waste a whole lot of time. But if you see that it is a nice home, something that you could potentially see yourself living in, something you want to buy, you want to make time to do a thorough walkthrough investigation, pull back the rugs, look in the closets, look underneath the carpet, so to speak, to make sure everything's up to par. And then this is where the list will come in handy, actually showing you what to look for. Don't let the staging of the house fool you, and make sure you know what actually comes with the property. So some of the things you want to look for: make sure it's structurally sound, make sure there aren't cracks in the walls, the foundation's not, the house isn't going to fall in on you, make sure there's no mold, ensure the air conditioning, heating, electric are all in good working order. Make sure there's no issues in the basement or attics. Get in those crawl spaces, look around. Is the exterior look okay? Is it well maintained? Turn on the taps, make sure the water pressure's strong, make sure that there are enough outlets, the electricity's good. Dig into the property history a little bit. Your real estate agent can help you with that, pulling up those public records. Things you want to look at: was the house on the market and then got taken back off, and if so, why? What's happened over the years with that property? You can come up with a lot of that stuff. If you don't have a real estate agent, your title company that's doing the title paperwork and title searches for you could probably help you out with that, or you can actually order an online record for a small fee. So those are just some things to look for. And make sure I'm not forgetting anything important. Just be ready to walk away. If you see that it's not quite up to par, don't be so tied into it emotionally that you can't walk away from it, because you want to make sure you're getting a good deal, not something that's going to cause you headaches in the future. Also, going back to the point that we talked about, making sure that you know what's staying with a property and what's not is very important. Something that's come up several times over the past couple of years that I've been doing closings. People are expecting fixtures to stay that were taken. That causes issues, even fights. They've signed all the documents, they've closed on the property, they get there and they find out that the chandelier was taken, or the air conditioner, one of those windows units was taken out that they expected was going to stay and didn't stay. Sometimes it's not even things that you expected to stay, it's what you were told was going to stay and end up not getting left behind. So there was one time where I closed down in southern end of St. Pete there, and there was a whole issue with the buyers and the sellers, and even among the realtors themselves. That was kind of, let me put it this way. I signed with the sellers, and the buyers were supposed to come do their walkthrough before they sign, but because of some of these issues, they actually had me go somewhere else to meet the buyers and sign with them in another building. So they didn't actually get to do their walkthrough. After they signed everything, and then, they were free to go over, after the sellers had left the house, they went over there, and some of the things that they had been promised that they could have hadn't been left behind. I remember a table was one of them, and there were a couple of other things, but they didn't get it in writing. So these are just some of the things that you want to look out for, be careful of. But go ahead, read through that chapter, ask any questions you have, and leave your comments below, letting us know what you're seeing or things that you have seen when you've purchased a house before. So I think this is going to be fun. Go ahead, dive in, and I will see you in the next section.